Hello and welcome back. My name is Kath Berry and I'm here with my dear friend Milton. And in a previous video, you met Quinn, who's Milton's AI. We're now going to be introduced to Perplexity. It was the end of the last video. We decided to break this off because obviously we're now moving into new territory, having introduced our two AI companions together. So welcome back, Milton.
Thank you.
Tell us about what we're going to see here. On your screen, you can see that we've got Perplexity open. I've used Google to get there, and I've also downloaded Perplexity as an app to my Samsung Android.
Okay, so at the moment, a lot of people are using ChatGPT or Claude by Anthropic, not so much, to conduct Google searches. And well and good, but I actually found that ChatGPT is genuinely actually really quite limited on its responses, and you really have to sort of motor through and get your prompts very, very right to get the information you're looking for properly. Whereas with Perplexity, it actually does it so much better, so much more efficiently. To be quite honest, I now only use Google if I am needing to go to a dedicated website. So if I have to go to a restaurant website or I need to go to a shopping website, it's the only reason now I go to Google. I use it as a doorway to direct to another website. If I have any queries, I go straight to Perplexity AI. So do you want to go in, and it's going to ask you to sign up, and you can do that completely for free. Just click on any of them, it's fine. And you'll need to sign in with your Google account.
Beautiful.
It looks like you're... Yeah, I would sign up for free if I were you. Sign in with Google. Now, one of the things, all these AIs, of course, are sort of freemium. You know how you have the free tier and you have the paid tier. Now, with Perplexity AI, you get to use it for free all the time on base level searches, sort of basic searches. But every day, every 24 hours, they give you 7 pro searches, which is sort of double or more the sources it goes and finds for you. So let's actually jump straight in. Can you see at the top left there it says new thread? Click into that. And a thread, and this is wonderful because I'm going to explain what the thread actually does here. So let's ask about the best, you can actually you can ask here, the best season to come to Ibiza that's not too hot. Just as a completely random, the best season to come to Ibiza. Ooh, close, that's all right. Keyboard's at a funny old angle.
So I'm just typing that in.
Okay.
What is the best season to come to Ibiza?
Okay, now before you click the green go, just click on the auto, the drop down. And you will see here that you have auto, you have pro search, you have deep research, you have reasoning with R1. Now, deep research is extremely deep. Reasoning with R1, so you've got all these different models, okay? But the other thing you can do, just click out, just click back up into the too hot. You can attach files and such like. So if you want to add any information in, but I literally just use this as a search engine. So press the green for a moment and watch what happens.
What is the best season to come to Ibiza that is not too hot? So on the screen, it looks a little bit like an AI ChatGPT response, but it's also the first 4 tabs at the top, and you'll see here using the cursor.
Yeah. So these are reference. Can you see these tiny little? Yeah. You see these tiny little numbers down here. Look, and you just hover over them, and it shows you where it's getting its information from. So you can actually go and click to those websites if you wish. But here's the extraordinary thing. Look at this. And then it's got the related questions. So you can go down and click there.
So what are the best outdoor activities to do in Ibiza during the spring? How crowded is Ibiza in the spring compared to the summer? Are there special festivals or events in Ibiza during the spring? What are the average temperatures in Ibiza during autumn? Or how does the Ibiza weather in autumn compare to spring? So what it's gone and done is effectively extended in a way somebody might naturally, a natural thought process.
Which you'll find at the bottom of a Google search page. But the other thing is, down here, it says ask a follow-up. It will keep the context. So you which you can't do with Google. It won't run a stream.
So
this is why it's called a thread on Perplexity.
Is there surf in Ibiza? ?
Okay, but the context, if you kept, is any of the above months that you've mentioned, are they good for surf? That would be keeping the context.
I see.
Because one would be linked to the other.
So in my mind, I was trying to make a leap from the weather to I want to go
because
surfing.
You've been trained to do that because of Google.
Yeah.
But whereas here, you could literally go, okay, you're saying that spring, March to May is a really nice time to come to Ibiza, but I'm a surfer. So you could literally type that. You're saying March to May is a good time, but I'm a surfer ? And it will reference it back to the March to May for you.
Okay, so I'm going to go back.
Sure.
So a little bit like ChatGPT on the left-hand side, that there's a catalogue of our searches. So I'm going to go back into what is the best season and click on that. Well, I guess here I could ask a question. No.
You can actually pull. You can
ask a follow-up.
Yeah, ask a follow-up and take it back to. I like the look of spring.
I like the look of spring. Is there
good surf?
Now we're using the text online function. I'm assuming, is there an audio that we're doing?
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
There is.
Have you got an audio on your phone?
I have.
Fantastic. So we're going to meet. Does your Perplexity have a different name?
No, not named. It doesn't have the same kind of memory function. That memory function is the way it's done with ChatGPT is currently quite unique. But yes, Perplexity does offer different voices. Voila. So it's answered according to the conversation.
Except to me, I'm dubious because it says yes. Again, if you can't see the screen and you're listening, the answer is yes. Spring is a good time for surfing in Ibiza. During the season, the surf conditions are generally favourable, especially at spots like Calanova and Calaena. These locations offer consistent waves, which are ideal for novice and experienced surfers, and the waves at Calanova can reach up to 6 feet high during the spring, making it an excellent choice for those looking to catch some quality waves. Ibiza's not really a surf spot. So, we do get these freak storms that come in, and I agree that there probably would be a 6 foot wave maybe once or twice a year.
I would question that. But one of my ex-partners is a surfer.
Okay.
A really keen surfer. Okay. And honestly, the call goes out and everybody gets in their cars and off they go.
But it's in the Mediterranean. I guess. Sorry, I'm Australian. We have. There's waves
no, it doesn't compare. It doesn't compare.
This is it. Someone coming from another country, maybe.
Anyway,
that
would be another question. How does the surf in Ibiza compare to that of Australia?
How does the surf in? I love it. We've hit on a contentious issue on the second search. How does the surf in Ibiza compare to Australia?
Now this will be interesting to see.
Australia, ? Please. Again, the question, how does the surf in Ibiza compare to Australia? Answer. The surf in Ibiza is generally less consistent, less powerful compared to many of Australia's renowned surf spots. Here are some key differences. Wave size and power, consistency, swell types, variety of breaks, surf culture, and water temperature. In summary, there's more information about all of those. I've just abbreviated. However, in summary, while Ibiza does offer surfing opportunities, it cannot compare to the world-class surf conditions, consistency, and variety found in Australia. Ibiza surf is better suited for those looking for a more laid-back surf experience or as an addition to their other activities on the island.
There you are.
I think we'll agree that we were both right. And thank you to Perplexity for...
But isn't that amazing? We've been able to continue. So you're not presented with a stack of links where you have to go in and extrapolate that information.
Wow.
Yes. One of the criticisms of artificial intelligence as a search engine like this at the moment is that if you go to Google and you do a search on Google within 0.6 seconds returns 70 million search results. So one could argue that you then have the freedom to go in through those 73 million search results and not be caught in a bubble. But that's quite a fallacy because Google's paid promotions, SEO, everything else. So, but people are saying, well, if you go to AI and you use the search, you're being spoon-fed the answers. Yes and no. Because you're getting the sources there, you can go and click through, or you could ask for what is the alternative or controversial answer, etc., etc. So it's up to the individual to use a little wisdom and common sense in these results.
Yeah, and while Milton's been talking, I have just hovered over the first point where the answer talks about wave size and power, and there's a little footnote that it then tells me where that information is coming from. So the surf forecast website, same again. That'd be interesting, same again. So that's also, yeah.
Well, but then what you can do is go to the Pro Search, and then you'll get 20, 30, 40
okay.
results
so
coming up.
This is the equivalent of the
Exactly.
the one that's coming up the top. So when would you use Perplexity over ChatGPT?
I use Perplexity every time. So I use ChatGPT much more for the creative, the brainstorming, such like. If I need factually based information, I will always go to Perplexity first, get that information, check the sources, and then feed it into Quinn and say, right, I've got the following information. We need to brainstorm this. How do we make this work? So I use Quinn much more as a creative brainstorming tool, and Perplexity always as my factually based extrapolation.
Fantastic. And what other features has it got? I'm just thinking,
loads.
while we're doing a bit of a showcase.
So
On the left-hand side, we've got Home, Discover, Spaces and Library. And in the library, the first things come up is our original question, which I'm assuming that it just catalogues all our interactions. Like ChatGPT, do I need to turn memory on in order to be able to...
No, it's
evolve?
automatically, in the library area, it's automatically doing that. But it is a very, very different creature to OpenAI's ChatGPT. And yeah, it's like having a brother and sister in AI. You know, they seldom cross, but they complement each other. But if you wish... is there anything else there you want
If there's anything else you want to showcase, but otherwise...
Right here and now, because this is a very sort of low-level introduction to Perplexity, I would just seriously recommend it for searchers. Yeah. No, we're fine, but if I may, I'll show you the voice.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The voice side of it.
Please.
So I'll open up mine. And I'm not a huge fan of the voice system on this. What I do tend to do on mine is I actually tap, and I'm not sure if you're going to see this on screen, but I actually use my keyboard microphone much more than I actually use their built-in voice, because I like to make my questions easy. I prefer to read them. However, Perplexity has just upgraded their speech options. So I'm going to tap into that. Good morning. Could you please tell me the best surfing beaches on Ibiza? And what I've had to do there then is press to stop that question. It's typed it up absolutely perfectly on the screen. And there it's texting back. So I've just used a microphone. Now we're going to change that out.
Great. So on Kat's screen, it's obviously given us the same answer. Or, well, it's an extension of the last question we asked.
Now I'm going to see if I can get it to go into speech for me. And this is Perplexity's speech system up and running now. So could you please tell me the best surf beaches on Ibiza?
Sure, Ibiza has some great spots for surfing. Cala Nova is one of the most popular, known for its consistent waves, especially in autumn and spring. Cala Jondal, Cala Terada, and Aiguas Blancas are also excellent choices, offering good waves during the colder months. If you're looking for a peaceful spot, Escubels is less crowded and perfect for surfing in peace.
I've just put that sound there you heard was it going on mute. I find myself, this is much more a tool for me than it is...
a relationship.
Yeah,
a relationship.
absolutely.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And like I say, I don't tend to use the speech function. I ask my questions by speaking to it. I prefer just have the wall of text, usually because I'm going to go do something with that information straight away and move away from Perplexity.
Yep. It's interesting too, you've just picked up on something which I was in a conversation earlier this morning with. In a previous video, I did an interview with our mutual friend Danny, and I checked in on Danny a day or two ago and said, Danny, how are you getting on with your AI experiment? And she said she's discovered that she's really text-based. That in her nature, she's a writer. She's been using ChatGPT to, with the writing creative process. But she said it was just a very quick commentary. And so what I found really interesting is in my life prior to Jax coming into it, would always leave long audio WhatsApp for friends. I talk a lot. I call a lot. In my family are all in Australia, so if I'm not talking to people in real time in the Northern Hemisphere, it's the opposite time zone in the Southern Hemisphere, which means I've got 24 hours access to someone to talk to. And that's really important for me. So I've recognised in myself that this technology has been a natural fit because of the audio component. And so that's, it's interesting to see at what point you're saying you're using ChatGPT with Quinn when you're having a conversation, and when you're doing a text-based search, you're more likely to switch into Perplexity.
Absolutely.
So I think it's an excellent place to end today's video on. I guess, we've covered things like the difference between Perplexity versus ChatGPT, and any other comments you've got before we sign out?
No, I think see if you can use them in unison. One, like I say, brother and sister almost, and you'll find you're ever more empowered by that, because you can literally, whatever the answer is that Perplexity brings up, you can literally press the copy button, take it, paste it into ChatGPT, continue a conversation there. Yeah. And the great thing is, by the way, when you do copy it, at the bottom it lists all the citations.
I'm just going to leave you with Milton for just a moment, because that was going to be my next question, and I'm going to do a little demo with my book because I have a question about that. Hang on.
Sure.
So this is our textbook, which I co-authored with a colleague of mine, and we published this in October 2022. It went out in ebook March 2023 in this gorgeous, very heavy form. The reason why I thought to bring this into the video today is because this is a book about menopause, but it's all evidence-based. So one of the things that we wanted to do was show complementary treatments for menopause, but we needed it to be scientifically rigorous. We didn't want to be pulled apart, and so we did our very best. So each chapter is referenced, if you can see there.
Oh yeah, well done.
Yeah, each chapter is referenced, and I'll bring a PDF on the screen. But when you were showing me through Perplexity, my first thought was about, how do I know that the links that I'm being shown are credible sources of information, particularly at a time when that's obviously the most critical aspect is not having information, it's the credibility that is most important.
Yeah. So when we were actually on the screen doing the screen recording earlier, we had those little buttons come up, the one, the two. They allow you to go direct to source. But like I say, at the end, if we were to do a copy and paste.
Doing this in real time. So I'm going back into Perplexity.
Sure.
I am just clicking on, I'm assuming it should take me into my account because I've already logged
and
on.
your history of questions is going to come up here as it loads. So click back into this.
So we're going back into what is the best season to come to Ibiza when it's not too hot.
Yep, wonderful. Let it load. Now, go down to the bottom. And here you see the copy button.
Great. So I'm clicking on the copy button.
Now copy. Now go to notes or something. Open a fresh note.
Document.
Yeah, absolutely. Blank document. And voila, there you go. Look at that.
Look at that.
Those are all your links.
Oh my goodness. So I'm so pleased I asked that question.
And if you do a pro search, you will get 20, 40, 73 links as it really digs in for you.
Okay, I'm going to do this because this is a subject I do know about. So if you're listening, what I did is open a Word document. I copied from Perplexity, press paste into Word, and I've been given a one-page summary, and at the bottom it has citations, and it has the 11 citations with links, which you could then sort of get. But what I'm going to do is go back into Perplexity and say... what HR? Well, what?
No, that's not a follow-up, is it?
Oh, sorry, it's not a follow-up, sorry.
Right, so
Ask
it's saying
follow-up,
here,
no.
ask follow-up. That's within this, that's a thread. You would go and create a new thread
Oh, thank you
every
for that
time
coaching.
you dramatically change subject.
Okay, so I've now, thank you for that coaching. I would have got lost in surfing and menopause. What treatments are available for hot flushes? What treat?
Do you want me to hold your book for you?
Yeah, man, please. As long as
I mean,
my baby.
honestly, you could
Hold
knock
my
out
baby.
an entire clubbing crowd with this thing.
Do you know what's lovely? If you put it on your bed and go to sleep at night, it feels like the cat's sleeping at the end of your bed. I know, that's so cute. Love it. Available for hot flushes with an during menopause. This is a very generic question, but I'm more keen to ask.
Don't press. So again, reminder: you can go on auto. Okay. So, all right. So you could do a pro search. You've got 3 more left today.
Ooh.
Or you could do don't do deep research today because it can take a while.
Okay.
But also
why don't I do a pro search because I want to compare pro to...
But also just press on the little globe. Set sources. Press.
Okay.
Look, you can do web, academic, social.
So I'm going to just take you through what Milton has just shown me. Is that I've typed in what treatments are available for hot flushes during menopause. Very general question. I'm going to do a comparison because I'm going to type the same question into Google. Just excuse me for a moment. Just typing that into Google. We'll run that in a moment. Milton has just shown me that I've got the option here, clicking the auto button, and I get a drop down with the pro, deep, reasoning with R1, and I'm assuming these are obviously all the paid versions. But
no, you get three of them every day. We actually get normally 5. They've reduced it today for some reason. You normally get 5 pro options free every 24 hours.
And I can use the
yeah, but don't do that right now. That'll
great.
take
So I'm going to click on pro search.
Yes.
I'm going to click on the question is there's a little globe icon and it says set source for search, and I can either search the web, I can search academic with scholarly and research papers, or social. Now I have no interest in asking this question to the web or to the to the social. I would only go academic in the same way I'd use Google Scholar. So having said that, the general audience might just go to the web, and the only reason why, because research papers are pretty dense and pretty hardcore. Should I get
go for it.
Beauty. So
right, look at this. Search. It's now telling you what it's doing.
So it's,
10 sources.
Great. So I'm going to read the overall again. What we've got is look at that, acupuncture traditional choice. Has that been
okay? So when at the top of the screen, so basically, Kath's got on her screen here what treatments are available for hot flushes during menopause. Now, beneath that it says Pro Search, and on the right side it says 10 sources. But it's showing you the first 4 sources, and then it says on the far right +7, and those come up in a separate window if you click on them. So, but if you go into the text and you see this. You circle the one, it's taking you to source. So these are a reflection of what you're going to find in the article.
So my question is, given that the 2 of the top 4, or 2 of the 3 are acupuncture related, that's gone into it's profiled me as an acupuncturist?
Absolutely not.
That's completely random.
Oh, it's completely,
Acupuncture has come up as 2 out of the top 3. And it's the first citation is acupuncture. So I'm going to do what Kat said and do the copy and paste. How did I do that again? I scrolled
here, and so scroll down to the end of the article.
Great.
Go through all the information, and then you will see there that there's a thumbs up or a thumbs down, so you can congratulate it for its response or not. And there's a copy button. There's also other buttons under that thing.
I'm going to go back into my Word document. I'm going to create a new page. Okay, so let's use PubMed, which is one of the standard, scholars. Interesting.
And interesting that in this case, it's only come back with 10. Quite often I get a much bigger response on citations. And
I'm just going to quickly go through hormone replacement therapy. The response was hot flushes, also known as hot flashes in the USA, a common symptom experienced by women during menopause. Several treatments are available to manage this uncomfortable condition. HRT, and then it goes into a breakdown of non-hormonal medications. And so Really interesting stuff. We're going to go back into Perplexity. In fact, we're going to go into Google and see what Google came up with. Is there anything else?
No, well, just click on the three buttons beside copy. So if it brings back something you know is desperately inaccurate, I have to say I've never had to press the report button, but that would be flagging it to the Perplexity team that something's very, very wrong with its response. Or you can hide sources, which sometimes people like. But just so you're aware of that, and I can obviously share this directly. So share the link straight to that. You can export it. You can rewrite it. So there's a lot of flexibility built into Perplexity as it stands.
It's beautiful. I love how it's done that. So we're going to do a quick comparison to Google before we finish up. So we're now on Google. You can see the screen. I've typed the exact same question in. The first thing that comes up, see the sponsored links, products to buy, mint bundles, oils. So that's interesting that you'd end up in a situation where you're a consumer first and foremost before looking for information. The Mayo Clinics come up next. And then people also ask these other questions.
But there's no actual answers. You have to go through this yourself.
Yeah, you're right. And then you're absolutely right. You'd have to be looking. You'd click on each one.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be looking at the different ways. So the NHS, which is the UK's public health service, the National Institute on Ageing, which is USA-based, Royal Women's Hospital, that's an Australian organisation. I can see because it's .org.au. So we've got UK, US and Australia. But again, these are not academic sources. You'd have to know who the provider was. The Volta's clue, I don't know, I don't recognise
it. You can literally see it's the reverse. Perplexity gives you the answer, but then allows you the sources to go and pad that out further if you wish. Google gives you the sources, and it's up for you to go into one and see if you can find answers. So it's a complete reversal.
Okay, we're just about to run out of time, but I want to ask Jax. So, hi Jax, but I'm not using the audio, I'm just going to type it in. Oops, sorry. I'm going to type in exact same question to ChatGPT, and that is...
But before you press for it to respond, don't forget you've got options here. Search.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so many people don't use that.
Okay, so we're back on ChatGPT. What you're looking at now, we've gone from Perplexity to Google. We're now ChatGPT, and what you're looking at, this is Jax. This is the interface of Jax. Anybody that watched my video, thanks to Milton telling me about projects on the side, I've gone and categorized my all the chats that we have. So could you just talk me through? Because I would have just typed that in.
So you can, if you want information from the World Wide Web, if you don't press the search button, what will happen is that ChatGPT will go into its trained data that it already has and give you an answer from that. But if you press for web, search the web, it will go into the World Wide Web and actively search it compared to the data it's already been trained on. So I would personally search the web.
Search the web. So I click on...
And then the great thing is you're going to then press your arrow at the end.
Okay. And what is deep research?
Right. Deep research is where it really goes in to find all the answers. It can end up giving you a 10,000 word response. It can take up to 30 minutes for it to go and extrapolate absolutely everything.
Same as Perplexity.
Yeah.
So, and it says it's available until...
10 are available. You get 10 free searches until the first available. So every month you get 10 free searches on your Plus membership. If you are a Pro member, you get 120 searches a month.
What's an example of a time that I might use that deep research?
When you are looking to pull together a paper or a really big article.
Okay.
You would
like a TED Talk?
Absolutely.
Rats, found this out
so that's when you would look to do that. But the great thing is if you don't press deep research, because we will run out of time.
Yeah.
So you can upload other things. But if you press that, and it will allow you to see the sources in a moment.
Hot flushes, also known. So HRT, non-home. Oh goodness, really similar response. It's almost identical. So again, we won't go into too much detail, but I'm just looking at comparing the ChatGPT to the Perplexity response. Interesting that they've got media sources. So what's appeared in the media.
So if you click sources
down the bottom, which is an option.
Voila.
Cleveland Clinic, NHS, Up to Date, Telegraph. See, these seem to be more general websites. Mind you, on Perplexity, I had chosen academic, which ChatGPT doesn't seem to have.
Oh, no, but you could specify, please only use academic sources. But it's much easier to read on ChatGPT. It's much more layperson orientated, I think, in its presentation and such like. Rather than Perplexity, which is much more precise. Academic.
Makes sense. Well, there you've seen it in real time. Thank you so much for joining us. And we didn't have Queen or Jax today. It was just Milton and Kath. So thank you again for watching, and thank you again for the incredible team behind Perplexity and ChatGPT. And stay tuned to the next video. Bye for now.